And welcome back to The Upside. My name is Michael. Today we're looking at Aaron Rodgers and possibly where he could be playing next year. We've seen over the last couple of seasons how Aaron Rodgers has all but demanded a trade, even in some cases having his agent spread around word that he has requested a trade. But it looks like now might finally be the time. After this season, Green Bay Packers are not going to have Aaron Rodgers as their starting quarterback. So where is he going to be playing? This is going to be the first part of a series documenting different teams that may or may not be in the running for Aaron Rodgers. So again, remember to subscribe and like this video and be notified when the next video of this series comes out. The first team in our series is the Cleveland Browns. Now, Baker Mayfield, depending on if you're a fan of his or not, is a decent starting quarterback in the NFL. However, we're talking about Aaron Rodgers and the possibility of getting him on a team ready to win a Super Bowl. All they need is that elite starting quarterback, and Aaron Rodgers is that guy. Now, trading for a starting quarterback in the NFL is no easy feat. As we saw with Matt Stafford and Jared Goff this past offseason, it's not exactly something that's done every offseason, so let's get into it. As far as his contract, after having a restructure this past offseason to kind of help bring Aaron Rodgers back into the fold so he would play this season, he's got one more year essentially left on his deal. There's going to be a lot of dead money, so you know that trading him is going to be one heck of a feat. So there's got to be a lot of cap space on one team to take on his contract. But if you're a Packers fan, you also know that you can't take back a huge contract if you're getting rid of Aaron Rodgers just because of the dead cap money you're already going to have. As for his age, Aaron Rodgers just turned 38 years old, and Father Time is undefeated. Aaron Rodgers, while he's still one heck of a quarterback, Tom Brady is one of a kind. Will he be another Tom Brady playing well into his 40s? Remains to be seen, but if you're a team looking to acquire Aaron Rodgers, you can't really count on that. You're looking for maybe 1, 2, maybe on a really good bet, you're getting 3 great years of service out of Aaron Rodgers before the wheels come off the bus. So remember, if you're a team looking to acquire him, you pretty much have to be ready to win the Super Bowl within the next few years. So the options of teams he has to go to are going to be limited. That's why first in the series is the Cleveland Browns. They have the roster and ability to take him on. Baker Mayfield is on the end of his rookie deal, so acquiring Aaron Rodgers wouldn't be a huge impact to their salary cap structure. Now the trade. The Green Bay Packers send Aaron Rodgers to the Cleveland Browns in exchange for Baker Mayfield, first-round pick in the 22 draft, and a third this year and in the following draft. That's one heck of a package for both teams. Let's see if it's really worth it. So why Cleveland? Why does Cleveland give up their starting quarterback, a first-round pick, and a couple of extra picks for Aaron Rodgers? Because this team is ready to win a Super Bowl. The defense is ready, they have weapons on offense, the running game is solid, their offensive line is great, and as we've seen, if Aaron Rodgers is protected, he is one heck of a starting quarterback. If he's not going to play very well. But we're still looking at an elite quarterback, and if you're the Cleveland Browns, you have 1, 2, maybe 3 years of having a roster that looks like this, and that's exactly the window Aaron Rodgers is looking for to win a title. Now, as for the trade itself, giving up a 1 hurts, but when you're getting a quarterback of his caliber, worth it. On the Green Bay side of this, you're giving up Aaron Rodgers, possibly one of the top 5 quarterbacks in the NFL, one of your few franchise icons, just as they did Brett Favre. Looking at the 2 quarterbacks in this trade, Baker Mayfield versus Aaron Rodgers, is this trade really needed for Cleveland to take that next step as a Super Bowl contender? Abso-freaking-lutely. The Green Bay Packers have been a title contender ever since Aaron Rodgers has been there. There's only been a few years that they've had a losing record. There's only been a few years where they haven't been Super Bowl contenders. And that's why Aaron Rodgers is an elite quarterback. You solve the quarterback position, you solve a lot of holes and make up for a lot of holes on your roster. The Cleveland Browns, however, don't have that many holes left on their roster. Aaron Rodgers fits like a glove in their one hole on offense, and because their defense is already humming, this team would be a Super Bowl favorite in the AFC. Looking at the Green Bay side of the equation, in addition to the draft capital you're now acquiring, you get to see if your investment in Jordan Love pays off. You also get a lottery ticket back in Baker Mayfield to see if he all of a sudden makes that next jump to a superstar level quarterback. I don't expect it, but you're getting that draft capital because of that uncertainty. Now, Baker Mayfield is looking at the final year of his rookie contract, so we'll see if he gets extended an offer or if he's going to be franchise tagged. But either way, the Green Bay Packers get a decent starting quarterback to keep their playoff hopes alive, not necessarily Super Bowl hopes alive, but keeps them in the hunt and at least tied with the Vikings for the favorite in the NFC North. Who remembers when Brett Favre was sent to the AFC? Anybody remember that 1 year as the Jets quarterback? Well, that's 1 year a lot of us fans would like to forget who were a fan of Brett Favre. However, the Packers weren't kidding. They didn't want him to be in their division. They didn't want him to be in their conference. They sent him as far away as they possibly could and got draft pick compensation to do so. So, looking at Aaron Rodgers, I expect them to do the exact same thing. They're not going to be trading him to an NFC team, and if they do, that would shock me. Looking at the Cleveland Browns, they're one of the few teams that fit in the AFC that could reasonably go after Aaron Rodgers and give up the price the Packers are going to want in return for him. So why, if the quarterback position is so important, are the Green Bay Packers trading one of the elite quarterbacks in the NFL for draft picks and an unproven lottery ticket? Well, that's the reason why. Aaron Rodgers is aging. They need some lottery tickets going forward, or they need to preserve their playoff potential as they go forward. They aren't necessarily going to be Super Bowl contenders, but being playoff contenders every year, going after it with the Minnesota Vikings and the Chicago Bears over the next few years, as they aren't necessarily great teams, but they're definitely playoff possibilities, just like the Green Bay Packers want to do. They want to stay relevant, and that's exactly the trade that gets them to stay relevant. They get a decent starting quarterback, they get draft picks for the future, and they also get to see if Jordan Love is the quarterback they hoped he would be. Looking at the Browns side of the equation, what's the future look like for them? Well, they're immediately thrust in possibly the top spot in the AFC. Aaron Rodgers would certainly become one of the top 2 or 3 quarterbacks in the conference, and that team with that roster very well could end up in the Super Bowl each of the 3 years, maybe 4, depending on how many years Aaron Rodgers has left in the tank. Every year he's there, they should be and could be in that Super Bowl. Now remember, Aaron Rodgers is 38 years old. He's not exactly a spring chicken, and so that title window is not going to be open for long. And with the salary cap, free agency is coming for a lot of the players that they have under contract already. They need to push their chips to the center while they still can. So getting Aaron Rodgers, if you're a Cleveland Browns fan, is absolutely the type of win-now move they need to make. Other players that could be available for them, Deshaun Watson, may not play for a year, and while that title window might extend for a player like Deshaun Watson, that cost is certainly going to be higher if he gets through all of his legal trouble. If you're looking at Russell Wilson as another possibility, his play this year certainly hasn't dictated that he could be an elite starting quarterback going forward. Aaron Rodgers, as we saw in the last few weeks, he owns the Chicago Bears, and he wants to show the rest of the NFL he's just as good as Tom Brady, Patrick Mahomes, and all the other elite quarterbacks that he gets compared to. Going to a team like the Cleveland Browns certainly solidifies that, so it's a perfect pairing, in my opinion, the pairing of Aaron Rodgers and the Cleveland Browns. Let's see if it happens. Looking at the Packers side of the equation, this move is all about the future. They still remain in the playoff hunt with Baker Mayfield under center. They get future assets as they continue to try to retool this roster. We've seen the defense improve as the season has gone along. The running game is still going to be there. You may or may not lose Davante Adams in free agency, so acquiring picks for the future drafts is going to help out. Getting an additional first this year is also going to help you fill some of those major holes. As you've seen it this year, the offensive line have multiple injuries, playing with 4 backups and a rookie on the offensive line for a number of games that Aaron Rodgers has started. So if you're a Green Bay Packers fan, while you're no longer going to be Super Bowl contenders and that kind of a thing, you still certainly have a chance at the playoffs. You're not going to sink all the way back into the tank with this kind of a roster, and you acquire assets for the future without having to do a complete rebuild like it did in baseball. For instance, Look at the Houston Astros. They tore apart their entire team, sold anything of value, and I mean anything. Any player who hit for average, who hit any type of average, was traded. Any pitcher who had any skill, any effectiveness while he was on the field, he was gone as well. And they were terrible for a number of years. And what was the result? They got a lot of good players on young, cheap contracts very quickly. But as we see, teams and with free agency and so forth can lose those players. And with Aaron Rodgers' deal coming off the books in another year after this trade, with the dead money and all that, they could be looking to reap the rewards of losing a starting quarterback. Now, that sounds pretty awful. Losing a starting quarterback is not necessarily a reward. But if you're a Green Bay Packers fan, in this case, you can classify it as one. You no longer have to deal with the headache of Aaron Rodgers. You no longer have to deal with he wants to be here. No, he doesn't want to be here. They don't have any assets. Well, now they've got assets. They got a quarterback who needs to prove that he is worth that contract, worth that draft pick in both Baker Mayfield and Jordan Love. So if you're a Packers fan, this move is all about the future. Let's see if they make this move.